is Arika Shabliss, and today I'm going to show you how to make an in the hoop bag like this. This design is from Parker on the Porch. All right, let's talk about what you'll need. If you are on the PE 800, you'll need the 5x7 hoop to make the smaller bag. I'm going to be on the NQ 1700E, so I'm going to use this 6x10 hoop. You can use the tearaway stabilizer. I prefer the cutaway, and I'll explain why later. You're going to need some thread, some matching thread. I'm going to do a black bag, so I have some black vinyl, and I'm going to use black thread on the edging of it, but I want white thread to be my design. You're going to need some bobbin. This is the pre-threaded bobbins. I'll leave a link for that. It'll help if you have a dowel. You've got one from Dollar Tree. To measure, they give you the measurements in the designs, but I'm going to show you how you can do that. Some scissors, applique scissors if you have them. Not necessary, but if you have it, it'll help. A D-ring if you want to have a clip on the side of the bag. Some type of cutter, scissors. I like to use my cutter as well. A seam ripper. Not necessary, but helpful. Clips. My D-ring was in here, and I have a template here. I'm going to show you how I did that template. And some glue to glue the inside of your liner. You don't have to have that if you're not doing a liner, but I'm going to show you how to do the liner. All right, let's get started. All right, I put away the things that I don't need immediately. I'm going to start with my hoop. Place my cutaway. You can use tearaway, but the inside of the bag will have like a crunch sound. And once you do it with the cutaway, you probably won't want to go back to the tearaway. Tearaway is easier because you don't have to worry about cutting the little zipper part out that I'm going to show you, but man, the sound of that crunch bag just does not sit well with my soul. So I use the cutaway. I have it hooped. I'm going to start out with my white thread, because I think I'm going to do a white zipper, and I don't want to do black. Oh, that reminds me. You need a zipper. Among all those other things you need a zipper. So my vinyl that I'm going to use is very thin and nice vinyl. I'm going to use for the bag. The wording, I'm going to have my name, and then I think I'm going to go with a white topper. I am. So I'm going to start out with my white thread because I like my thread to match my zipper, and then I'll switch out to the black. All right, let's go get started. All right, I created my design using my signature and some font. I put it on my jump drive, and I'm putting in this little dongle. I will leave the information to get that. It's so that you won't have to have the force of your jump drive going in and out to tear up the machine. All right, I'm going to put in I placed in my hoop, and I needed my thread that I left at the table. I'm using a thread holder because I do not have my thread on my machine. I noticed that it works a little bit better that way. So I'm threading it. I normally don't go with a white color because it's hard to see white on white, but I need this for my zipper. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go here and find the file. It takes a second or two. I'm going to scroll through and find my file. It just has my name on a blank bag. here. All right, so this is a 6x10 hoop on the NQ 1700E. I am starting out with white thread because I wanted to match my white zipper just in case anything peeps through. It's going to give me a placement stitch, and then I'm going to place my zipper. I'm going to make sure, let me show you that. This little button here in the paper, I'm going to click it, I'm going to scroll through, and I had changed my foot height. I'm going to go back to the regular. Okay, and then I'm going to say in edit, embroidery, and then I'm going to change my tension down to 2.8. I just normally do that. And then I'm going to push the green button to go. All right. I am rethreading my machine. And I'm going to switch to the white thread once I get ready to lay my zipper down. For teaching purposes, because I am a teacher, I need to make sure you can see what I'm teaching you. So I'm switching to the white thread. I backed up to 1 again, so it's going to repeat. And I'm probably going to fast forward this part. And again, it's gonna finish up the zipper placement stitch for me. Okay, I'm going to take off the hoop so you can see there is the placement line for the zipper. I like to have my zipper going toward the top end this way, facing away from me. You can put your zipper however you want. Your zipper head should be up on top, and you're going to place it on that zipper line, on that line. All right, it's tacking down the zipper. It's going to put one line on one side of the zipper and then go to the other side and put one line down that one. And this is where I really like to switch to the white thread, and that's what I had planned to do. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling like this. All right, so I'm going to take this off of the machine, and I want to show you. Okay, on the back side is where you want to come in and use your seam ripper, and I like to use my applique scissors because they're tiny, but you can use any scissors. And we're going to take out this part because it's cutaway. You can take it out at the end of the construction of the bag, but I don't like to see the whiteness on my lining as much as possible. I like to take it away. So I'm going to go in, and the zipper, if you'll notice, the zipper here, see if I can hold it. I'm going to take this tape off because we're done. I'm just going to put that tape on my bag, on my table. I can use it later. All right, I'm gonna take my zipper and open it just so you can see. There's the zipper line right there. So that is this line right here. All right, we need to take out this here and come all the way and take this piece out. So we're gonna take all this out right here. We're not gonna touch this bottom part. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take my seam ripper. Try to have one that has a little ball on it because I'm going to flip it over and cut that out. So I'm going to take the sharp part and then I'm going to just gently kind of get inside, and then I'm going to take it out immediately and I'm going to switch to the ball part. And then I'm going to just run this right against that stitch line as close as I can, without taking the stitches out. Once I get to the end, this is the part where I like to take the scissors. See, we opened it up right here, but we still need to take that top part off. I like to come around the edge like this until I get a straight line, and then I go back with the seam ripper. It's maybe a little difficult to show. All right. So I'm going to take this here. Hold on. Let's do it facing down. All right. Now I'm going to take this piece here and just and once I get to that curve again, I just take my scissors. I noticed that when I take my seam ripper, it just be going all kind of places. And I want to just cut just that piece right there. So now I have that piece out. I'm going to put my zipper back. All right. And we're going to go to the table. This is where your measurement comes in. If you have a ruler or some type of measurement tool, you're going to take and measure from here and here. So the height and the width of your bag. So I would get at least a 10, 10 and a half, because you want enough space on both sides. I'm going to do 11. All right, and then here, the top of that, I go a little bit over and then some down. So I need at least a 7. So that's why I made that template with this. And I used just a Dollar Tree 2-pack. You can use acrylic pieces, which I eventually will do with my glow Porch, but just get one of those cutting mats and use your ruler and cut out 11 by 7 for this particular one. And you just write on there what you can use it for with a Sharpie. All right. So now I'm going to I have some vinyl. And this is already pre-cut almost to the size I need. As far as the width, it has a little extra. And I'm just going to use it as this. And I'm going to go straight across. I need 2 of these. Because I'm doing the front and back the exact same color. I do have a lot of bags that are mixed colors. One is one color, one is another color in the back. And then I'll just save that piece there for later. All right, so I have 2, a front and a back, and I'm going to do the inside. All right, so I'm going to use a fat quarter. I have this print. I'm going to just do the exact same thing with my template. I need 2 pieces, so I'm going to just fold it in half. Let me see, yeah, that's just about right. So I'm just going to cut those 2 pieces. cut this in half. A really small piece off to cut it in half. All right, so now I got my two front, my liners, and I have my front and back. So now we need to put a liner and a front on it. When you are working with print fabric, you have to make sure you put it on correctly. If you're working with non-printed fabric, is the same color on each side, you don't have to worry about it. Here's my example. I was rushing, did a bag for a friend, and I did not flip this here. So notice when I do this, this is what I'll have to do. This is what the inside of the bag will look like. It's on the wrong side. So let me show you. Make sure you do this step here. You flip your fabric. You need to see the wrong side. You're going to place it over your zipper piece. And you're going to tape it down. You can use the brown tape. I just use this. I ran out of the brown. So I'm going to put a piece here to make sure that's taped down. And I like to get my corners to make sure they don't get caught up. And then I also check it. Even though I know I measured it right, I still kind of see to make sure this comes down. All right, let me show you that one more time. Just make sure when you fold it down that it covers your whole pattern. And it does. If you measure it, it should, but I always check still. All right, flip it over. Now we're back on the front side of the hoop. We're going to take the front piece and we're going to flip it just as well. And we're going to place it right where the zipper is. And make sure you have enough room on each side when you do this, because when you flip the bag and it goes around, you need to make sure it covers. So measuring it, but then making sure you place it on here where the ends are. And I do the same thing on this side. Put a piece. You could go one long piece, but I just do it like I do the front and back. All right, let's go back to the machine. All right, when you place it back on the machine, important part is to make sure your fabric, you look under to make sure this fabric is not caught up under your frame. You want to make sure it's flat. So I normally just do this, kind of hold it, press it in. This is going to just tack down the two pieces together, and then we'll move on to the next step. So we're on step 3. So for this step, I take off the tape that I just pressed down for just the front, because I don't want the tape inside the bag. Because this next step is telling me to press down the front. And you can take it off the hook. Like, do this here. It'll be easier. So I was trying to rush. And then my nails. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to take just this front piece. And I'm going to slide it up under. decided to switch to the color white for my design. So that's what it's doing. I'm going to show you how to add designs to your bag using Embroidery. I don't know the other programs. So if you are interested in getting into bags and you get some of the bag designs, I'll show you in Embroidery how to add the designs. This is adding my name. I like the colors black and white, so it's doing that, and I will run this and I'll probably speed this section up. At the end, I'm going to back it up. Step 5. Step 5 is to take it off the machine. And I normally take this tape off before I do my design. Make sure you take the tape off on the back side. That way I leave the edges on, like these edges here, but if there is some in this section, I take it off in case the design is up there. All right, let's go over to the table. This is the part where you're going to take, because you want your design inside, you don't want to see your design on your inside of your bag. So you're going to take it after you have placed your design, if you're adding design. You're going to tape it pretty good on the sides. Make sure you pull it nice and tight. And tape it down. You can tape it here, but I just do those sides and then I just watch it. Put it back on the machine. We are now on step 5 and see how it has the bottom part. The top part is missing because we're going to take the liner piece on step 5 for this one, and we're going to place it in. Make sure your liner is flat down. Make sure you didn't curl back up. Put it back in the machine, and now it's going to tack this down. Now, because I switched to white to put my design, I want to go back to black because whatever color may peek through on the sides, and I want to make sure it matches so it blends in. So let me put my black back on. I don't need my white anymore. I just needed it for my design. Thread it real quick. All right. I'll get the rest of these later. Just a couple pieces. All right, so now we're going to go with number 5. And hold on, I heard some tape. Yep. This piece came off. Yes, definitely don't want that to happen. So my tape came off, so make sure you tape it good. Where'd my tape go? Okay, I'll use this one. I'm gonna tape this again. All right, tape it good so it won't come out. And mesh the tape down real good. All right. Move it a bit closer. All right, if you got the back pattern, the blank one, there are a few steps that I'm skipping. This is to put some little things on the side. I'm not using those. So I'm going to go to number 10 or 9? 10, 9. 9 is going to put the backing on the back. We're going to go to the table and show you that. All right, for the backing, you're going to need a piece of vinyl for your clip. You're going to need a backing, and you're going to need to unzip. So the thing that I came up with for my brain, just to remember everything, is flip, clip, unzip. So I'm going to flip this. This should be like this on your bag, the back piece. Clip, that means if you want to add one of those clips on the side like this, this is the step that you're doing it on. The step where you're adding the backing. And unzip. If you do not unzip your bag, you have ruined your bag because it will be no good. So I zip it right there because most times the step starts right here and it'll hit. So I just unzip it enough right before that middle. All right, so we got the unzip and the flip. We're going to do the clip part. I usually take 1 inch. Or a little bit under 1 inch. And I cut it off. Now you could do like a different color here, but I think I'm gonna go with black. Yeah, because the things I add may be white. All right. So now that I have my little piece, I just measured 3 or 4 inches. This may be more. That's 1, 2, 3, a little bit over 3, and then I just fold it in half. The piece where you fold it, the folded part is, that's the part that's going to go inside the bag. Now, on my back here, I have it about here, so I go down just a little bit, and I don't make my my tabs really big. I make it close to the line of the bag. Some people put it way here and then it sticks out very far. I don't like them to stick out far. So I'm just going to come right about there. Take a piece of tape. Make sure it's lined up. And I'll just tape it down. And then I'll take another piece. And I just make sure it stays still inside the bag. So I have 2 pieces of tape. I have my flip, clip, unzip. And I place this over here and I go back to the table. Make sure wherever you place it, it goes up right against that or at least above it. And then make sure it's below it if you don't measure. This was measured. And then when you put it on here, make sure you have enough on each side. All right, let's go to the machine. On step 9, it has the outline of the whole bag. That's the step we're on before we put the liner and finish. So, let's see, I'm scared it's gonna hit. All right. All right. See, it's gonna slide. And that's going to go around a few times to make sure your bag is enclosed properly and a nice tight fit. So it's going to go around, I think, 3 times. I know it does, yeah, at least 3. It may be more than 3. We'll see in a second. As many bags as I've done, I don't remember the number. And then it goes in just a little bit. And now it's giving a second stitch, the inner stitch inside. Stitch, and it has an opening in the bottom, and that means that that is the liner piece. And we're going to go to the table. All right, Took the hoop off the machine. We're going to flip it over where your liner piece is. And you're going to take the other liner and the right sides are going to be together. But you're going to make sure you cover your zipper. So you're going to place it up here on top. Make sure it's smooth out. Tape it down good. All the way around. Make sure it's nice and flat. Go back to the machine. Okay, this is the last step. I have it back on my machine. When I put it down, I'm going to press my button to go. And it's going to repeat what it did before, where it did a lot of stitches around. This time it's tacking down the liner to make sure the liner is in place. And it does not need to come here, so it's going to go back and forth in between those sides over there. This part will be left open. Now it didn't give me the finish beep sound because I put my logo, my name at the end. So now I'm going to take it off the machine because it is ready. You can see everything is. I'm going to take this tape off and then I'm going to show you how to turn your bag and glue it together. With this piece, we will need some fabric glue. I use the clear because the white one will show through. So don't do my mistake. A clip, if you did a clip, some wonder clips to piece it together, a cutter. I use both because I'm going to show you that in a second, and a dowel or a seam turner. I like the dowel because it'll get the corners real good. All right, so we're going to take this off the hoop. All right. Now it's important to know before you start cutting where your opening for your liner is. You definitely do not want to cut that piece off because you need an extra piece of fabric to turn it. I'm taking the tape off on the sides. I'm just sticking it to my table because I can use it later. One more. All right, so we have the tape off, and this is where my opening is. I do not want to cut this off whatsoever. I need that extra piece to turn. So what I like to do, so this is the bottom of my bag. I take the sides off first, and I always take the sides off on the part where it has the back and the front of the back, because when you take the sides off here, you're closer to the liner, which is inside the bag, and you want to make sure you miss those stitches. So always cut from this side of the bag. I'm going to cut my sides, and they're kind of close, and then I keep these pieces because that could be used for the clip parts. I keep this piece because then if you ever have any small projects, it could still go on these. It fits perfectly. So just make sure you keep those side pieces. And then this is the other side that I need to cut off. And I only need these pieces here. The bigger pieces, I don't need any of this, and I will keep my cutaway. For my top, remember this is my bottom because that's my opening. for my top of my bag where my zipper is. Now this is pretty small, but you could still possibly use it for certain things, so I just keep it. All right, for the bottom part, what I do is I flip it where the fabric piece is. I lift it up and I take my cutter and cut it off like that. Again, I'm keeping that piece. This piece I don't. This is really small. All right, so now we have that part done. Now you're ready to turn your bag inside out. But before I do that, I do like to take the corners and round them. And then I also like to take my scissors and just do like a little small snippet so it'll turn a little easier. A little sewing trick. All right, I just take it, I do really small cuts. All right, so that's at the top of my bag. My fabric is down here. Then I still get this part and I cut the edges just a little bit to round it off. All right, so now you have your bag and you're going to take it and start turning. That's my first corner. All right, and just keep going. Go to my next corner. Ooh, try not to pull the stitches too bad. Some people in the bag community call this birthing a bag. Have it coming out. And then you just take corners. All right. And then the opening piece, make sure it's folded in on that side and on this side. And make sure it's flat. Once it's flat, you're going to take your fabric glue and then you're just going to put a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. That's where your clips come in. Hope you have some wonderful clips. You take your clips and I just go the middle and at the ends, and then I come back and I go in the middle of those. All right, now that's done. It's going to take about 5 minutes to stick, and then we'll come back and turn it again. So while that's doing that, I'm going to clean up a little bit. All right, so we are going to finish the bag. I'm going to take the clips off. That's done. It's glued together. I'm going to take the zipper. It's already got the little opening. You're going to take the corners. Just like when we were doing it the other way. I'm going to take the corners this way. Just do it with my nail first. This is the part where the clip pieces. So I'm going to take that off. See, I have it right side. I take my hand first. Let me show you. See how this is, you can see the black stitch in here. Had that been white, you would have been able to see it. So that's why I said make sure you use a color, coordinating color that matches. I use my applique scissors and my seam ripper for this part, and anything that looks like it needs cleaning up. You're going to take your clip. Now, let me show you this part here. If you have nails that you don't want to mess up, you take a staple remover. I'm a teacher, so I have plenty of these. And then you take it, and it helps you get it into the hole, and you just twist it around. Alright, the bag is ready. Look how nice that is. That's my black part. Alright, I'm going to stuff it to show you how it looks when you stuff it for presentation purposes. You can get this stack of paper from Walmart or Sam's. I get the bigger stack. So I'm going to take some paper. I may need more than 2 sheets. Crunch it up. You know what? I didn't show you the dowel part. I did it pretty much with my fingers because the vinyl is very soft. But if you have a little bit harder vinyl, you just take it and you want those corners to poke out a little bit. This vinyl was from my pumpkin embroidery, and it's super soft. So my corners were pretty much good already. All right, I'm going to step it. These cups for seeing how big the bag really is. It looks small when you first make it. When you stuff it, you can see how much can go in there and get a little bit more. Amazon pause. Alright. So I'm going to stuff a little bit more. Because I like my bags to be full. Alright, now, let's see, I did a bit. Alright, I don't get the sharp scissors, I get my applique because I sometimes snip it. And so I'd rather just do appliques. All right, so now that's finished. I'm gonna put some little swag on the side. Let me see what I got.